everybody, and welcome to the AMA Way, the only way to receive your business ventures here at the Fowler College of Business. I'm your host, Javier Hernandez, and here I'm with two very special guests today, two very special members of the band Silver Bullet, Rise to Fame. We have John Kelly, their lead guitarist, and Ryan, their drummer. Let's give them a hand. I don't know how long I've been dying to use this soundboard, dude.
Dude, that went so hard. We're honored.
I love that.
Hell yes, dude. It's really exciting, you guys. I haven't stopped thinking about this since last week, dude, because I've been trying to get you guys on for the longest time. John knows I've been talking about this since
Dude, yeah, we
months ago.
appreciate you having us.
Well,
Yeah, no
we're happy
worries,
to be
dude.
here.
It's awesome, man. So I want to start, for the people that don't know, like, John, what is your background like? Like, where are you from? Like, how'd you get into music, all that?
All right, so I'm from the Bay Area, East Bay. I've been playing guitar since I was in 4th grade, and I've been playing live just as long. I've always been to music, just growing up. My mom would always play like Boston and No Doubt, Tom Petty, all that in the car, going shopping. So I always had that rock, taste.
For sure.
And then I would always play like Guitar Hero when I was super young. I got wicked at Guitar Hero. And then me and my homies at school were like, yo, let's form a band. So we went to our music teacher because she had guitars and drums, and I was always just like, I want to play those so bad. So she let us, jam. We formed a band. We play at lunch, get chased by the girls after, you know the vibes. And then just didn't stop and been playing in bands ever since. And then once I transferred to San Diego State, last fall of 23, I met the Reckless at a show in Oceanside.
Right.
And I didn't think anything of it. I was like, oh, yeah, they're cool. And I followed them, and then they're like, oh, we're looking for a guitarist. So I joined them, and at the same time, I met Ryan, and him and I, along with our bass player, Jake, who I was friends with on TikTok for a whole year before we actually met, we jammed at their friend's house. And then that got rolled, which was sad.
It got rolled?
The
A
cops
jam session
came.
got rolled?
It was a 4 p.m. on a Friday.
What?
There was like 3 cop cars too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was like, are we that loud? Are we like...
What house did you guys perform at? Was it nearby?
Yeah, it was just, down the street from Campanile.
Yeah, it was like right by
Ponchos.
Ponchos.
Yeah, just in that
Okay.
area.
Yeah, so that's like right
garage
where-
was open. It was loud, but I don't know if it was that loud.
I think
3 cop cars, yeah.
Yeah, but then I met Hannah at Aztec Music Group. She's the vice president. She overheard we were looking for a singer, and we had her at a jam, and we're like, that's our singer.
Yeah, dude, I just started actually hearing about the music club and like the music production. Like, what was it again?
Aztec Music Group.
The music group, yeah. Because I have another friend, Kevin. I don't know if you guys heard him. He plays saxophone, I think. But
that's cool.
they just performed in Campanile as well.
Oh, that's dope. I think that's the there was like a musicians club, and then there's Aztec Music Group. So that was the musicians club, I think.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Do they do you know like their missions are like are they similar in any way?
So I know Aztec Music Group is more music business oriented. So it's kind of more like
Events.
yeah, it's more like that kind of stuff. And then musicians club, I don't know for sure, but from what I've seen, it's more of like actually playing.
Yeah,
That makes sense.
it kind of looks almost like an open jam session from the videos I've seen of it.
Okay.
Yeah.
That makes sense. I mean,
Yeah.
it welcome. They welcome like other levels, right?
Absolutely.
Like, levels of learning.
Yeah.
I figured
I'm
that
sure
much. They're gonna be
anyone
like
can
that
show.
open about it.
No, yeah, it's like a come one, come all type deal,
Yeah, I get
Everyone's
it.
welcome.
Well, that's pretty sick, dude. Because that's like, well, first yours goes way deep. I think because you started at a very young age and you had that impression of your teacher, right? And then starting from there, you just continue to develop it. It still was a part of your life.
Yeah.
And then it was funny. It's funny that you mentioned having met Ryan because before we started recording, he did mention that you were more into sports, right?
Yeah. I mean, growing up, I think I was always into music. Like I was very into kind of classic rock, like a lot of '90s rock music.
When did that start? Like you're speaking that.
Pretty young. I had an older sister who was really into that sort of stuff, and so she got me into it.
Nice.
But yeah, I think the first time I played drums, I was in like the 5th grade band. Like I did the snare drum.
Oh
but
yeah,
they-
the solo snare drum.
Yeah, but they put me on the triangle because I would play too loud, and so they didn't want me doing it anymore.
Hell yes.
Yeah, and then like for years, I mean, I didn't really play any instruments. I always wanted to, but I I played basketball and stuff like that. And then, like, I got tired of just running around a gym like 5 days a week after school. And so I picked up a drum, set off Craigslist, and yeah, I mean, it's probably like 15 or 16. Yeah, no, I mean, I would jam with friends and stuff, but I would just play all the time, so.
I hear you.
Yeah.
So you kind of just developed your own talents for the sake of like you enjoying it.
Yeah, I mean, I always wanted to play, and I was just very into it. It
I
was
hear
something
ya.
to do, yeah. And then, yeah, I met John. We got together, found Jake, and yeah, now here we are.
Did you ever have a drive to be in a band? Because he mentioned, like, John mentioned that he was in a band when he was at a young age. Is that like an idea that you had initially?
Yeah, I mean, when I started playing, it was so I could play with other people. I didn't want to just play the drums alone. Like,
Yeah, I
mom's
figured.
garage
Same,
or
yeah.
anything. Yeah. Yeah, I played with some like friends in high school. Me and John both, we went to community college before coming here to SDSU, so I had people with community college I'd play with.
Nice.
And we play for like people in backyards and stuff, but this is the first time I've got to play with like kind of been part of a real band where we're doing venues and stuff like
Right.
that. So it's
But
been
you guys
pretty
weren't
fun.
strangers to being in bands either. You guys
No,
understood how it
yeah.
worked. You guys understand how music works, and you guys just had the same passion.
Yeah.
Because
Oh,
yeah.
you went to JUCO in Carlsbad, John went to JUCO in like the East Bay.
Yeah.
So it's just like crazy how that all worked out.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's playing alone and playing with people is very different, but it's
Oh yeah,
very rewarding. So
Yeah.
very much. I think clearly you guys have had really good success so far,
Thank you, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're trying our best.
and your best is paying off, dude. I'll tell you that much. So, was this idea of Silver Bullet? When did that idea come to be? So you guys met, I know, through a different show. Like it was during the Reckless show, or which one was it?
I think I posted a flyer actually saying I was looking for people to play with.
Yeah.
Oh,
and
shit.
John replied to it, and I mean, he was a lot of people replied to it, but John like texted me. He was like, "Here's my Instagram." And I looked at his Instagram. He's in like Guitar Mag, and he's throwing his guitar in the air and stuff. I was like, "Yeah, I'll play with this guy."
He seems pretty legit, right?
Yeah, and he brought Jake, and so we jammed for probably like an hour before the cops showed up. And then we kind of were all like hinting, like, "Oh, we're looking for a band to be in," and then we just started, playing together. But that was pretty much it. Like, I think we all, even though we weren't saying it at first, like we all wanted a band. And
It was
Yeah.
super natural. Like it was just like after we were all like, "Oh, do you know this Metallica song?
Yeah.
This Black Sabbath song? This Led Zeppelin song?" We all had like that same taste.
yeah, and we gelled very well. Like, right, I think the first thing we did, like to warm up, we just did this like blues number, and we must have played it for like 15 minutes straight without
Yeah.
What
stopping.
the fuck?
So yeah, we were just jamming, like
That's
whatever.
pretty sick,
Yeah.
dude.
Yeah, and then there was never like, "Oh, we should form a band." It was just like,
Kind of
let's
happened.
just happen. Like, "Oh yeah, let's
We
jam."
did that, and then everyone was like Jake had just left his old band, and like we were all just looking for something, and then next thing we were in a practice studio making demos. And it was just-
Yeah. No, yeah, it just happened.
You guys were like, "Oh, it'd be so cool if we're in a band," and then it happened.
Yeah, I was itching to play again too,
Yeah.
because I was in 2 bands in the Bay Area.
Right.
So like that first half of 2023, I was just playing shows left and right between both of them,
Jesus.
and then I went like a whole month without playing. That August, move into San Diego, trying to figure myself
the
out.
downtime, which it wasn't really even downtime. You were planning
Yeah.
to move here.
Yeah, so yeah, it felt good to find some people to jam with that were really good at their instruments too,
Oh,
and yeah.
When you find your niche, dude, you find even people that can just fit in greatly. And luckily, you guys were able to find that for sure.
No, that's the thing. Like, we all wanted to do rock and roll.
Yeah.
We wanted that like just heavy like.
The old time sound.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I
It was-
definitely get that.
Nothing was forced. Either.
Yeah.
It was just like what we. Like,
Right on.
Yeah.
Yeah. Would you say that's like contributed a lot to your guys' success, just how well you guys are able to play together?
Definitely.
I'd say that's probably one of the biggest parts
Yeah.
of it.
For sure. And then
Like-
what would you attribute else to?
Strong social media presence.
Yeah,
And just
right.
like
it's definitely helped a lot.
yeah,
Yeah.
I've seen bands just that I've played shows with in the past go from like 2,000 followers to like 60K in like a month just from posting. So I was like, the second I get down to San Diego and either form or start a band, I'm the grind on content because I know that's how like you will build a following.
Right.
So when we were in Christmas break, we're all separated, but we had all this content to work with because we did a day where his sister took pictures of us.
Did like a full media day?
Pretty much. We went to Old Town. His sister came and did photos for us, along with our friend Leanne, and she had an iPhone and just took clips of us, other pictures and stuff. So we had so much to work with during break.
That's pretty sick. So wait, how are you guys able to push all that? Do you guys all do like a different section, or do you guys divide it?
We would just make videos during break.
Yeah,
like
pretty much. Like, so my sister's a professional photographer. We're also a very self-sufficient band. We just kind of all know people. Like we honestly don't pay for stuff a lot. We kind of just get like offered things, and like so
sick,
she
dude.
came out, took some like great photos, edited them for us. Friend Leanne was doing like kind of that behind the scene like B-roll type stuff.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and then for that break, like 6 weeks, we're all making different videos and stuff and posting photos, so we can get a little bit of like momentum before, because we formed before winter break, but we didn't have our first show till after.
Right. Yeah.
Because we didn't want to have a show and then be gone for like a month and a half.
Yeah.
So we were just kind of trying to build momentum before coming back, and then
Nice.
just kind of hit the jackpot a little bit.
I didn't realize that was like the game plan, because that's actually hella smart. I'm being me, I like getting stuff done, so I would have been like doing my best to have a show.
Yeah.
But like your guys' thought process of just like having like at least social media presence initially.
Yeah.
And then gaining that traction, and then finally meeting up to like your guys' first show. Like how did that go?
It was great. We were like, I remember before winter break, like right before we went our separate ways,
Yeah.
we were just like, let's take this break and just build momentum, like build the hype up, because we're gonna have a house show in early February. We're dropping a song, which was Baby's Truckin'. We don't want it to flop, right? So there's nothing better to do during break. We just started making videos on CapCut and posting them on TikTok and Instagram. And then one of them just blew up. And then after that one blew up, the ones following also blew up.
Right.
And then all those videos had Baby's Truckin' playing. So there was a lot of anticipation for that song to come out. And then when it did, people were listening to it. And then coming back to break, everyone's like, oh, dude, like this new band, like hella cool. And then we jumped the promotion game early because we knew there'd be a lot of house shows coming back to the semester.
As the clouds like move.
Yeah. So we did ours a little later, but we promoted it really early.
Right.
So there was no other house shows the same night as ours. Because that's a problem. That's like the one small problem with the scene here.
Yeah.
I love it to death. You gotta hop on the wagon early with promoting, because there are so many house shows every weekend.
Yeah.
So like we knew that.
House shows being like actual like house, like in someone's yard.
Band playing
Yeah.
at some house. Like, you're usually splitting the check between like 4 or 5 different places. But I mean, if you're the only, like, that first show, I think we probably cleared like 350 people in that backyard.
Yeah,
'cause
we
it was
did.
just like,
It was a big
no one else
backyard,
was
yeah.
having a show.
Was that the one just off the street here near P4? Because I think I went to that one. Maybe.
It was
Prosperity.
Prosperity Lane.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So it's like down that.
It's a big backyard.
Yeah, it was huge.
Oh, then I wasn't. Never mind. The place I was at was a little smaller, but
Probably thinking Mary Lane.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Mary Lane, that's another good one, because that one's right by campus.
Yeah.
It's like
It's
really
easy to
close.
get people there.
Yeah,
For
so we
sure.
get a lot of the kids who live on campus and like really close to it.
right. But a big contributor to you guys' big audience was just early marketing and then social media presence.
Absolutely.
Because it was like, I think it started like initially as, okay, like someone comes and sees us, we want them to follow us so they know about other shows, so they listen to our music.
Yeah.
So if someone comes and sees us and we have an Instagram with like no photos on it and no, like, they're gonna be like, okay, I don't care.
Yeah, exactly.
So that was what was part of it. But then it's like, okay, we also want people to know about us before our first show, because then that'll get more people there too. So it was kind of just like an obvious thing, and then we happened to get lucky with that
Yeah, for sure.
Instagram reel that got like, I don't know, what's it at? Like
Dude,
10 million
It,
now?
it's
10
at
million?
9.9. I think it's gonna hit 10 pretty soon.
It's gonna hit. Oh, dude, it's gonna hit 10 for sure.
Yeah.
And it helps too. There's these people having like an argument in the comment section for the last like 2 months now. Which
They're
just
still going back at it?
It's yeah. I still get like things every day of them
Yeah.
going back and forth.
It's just like, well,
There
it's a
was-
new development.
There was one video that was so bad we actually had to turn the comments off.
yeah,
That one got close to 1 million views. We had to turn it off because it was
was
actually
getting
kind
bad.
of toxic. Yeah, it was getting rough. like
yeah, but
we-
yeah,
Like, you
it
couldn't
gets
delete
us
the chain
clicks.
no, like we that's the thing. We don't really care about hate comments because like
If they're hating on us.
if they're hating on
Yeah.
us,
Yeah.
it like
But
it-
if they start attacking each other, it's like,
then it's
Well,
like
where's the
all
looker
right.
on us?
All
Yeah.
right, bro.
yeah.
You guys have so this is all like self-sufficient. You guys are running the media pages. You guys are running your own advertising. Have you
Yeah.
guys had any sort of labels or anybody like reach out to you saying that they want to help or like they're interested?
No.
No,
Not that I
any
know of.
real ones.
Yeah.
Maybe some like scams or something. But
We've gotten like those emails like, oh hey, like we work for this like talent agency, whatever. We knew it's a scam. You know,
Right.
you can just tell. There's like certain. It was just you just
Just
know it's
looks
sketchy.
bad.
You just know, yeah.
But I mean, yeah, as far as the like actual social media and stuff goes, I mean, our friend Leanne, who did the B-roll, like she does photos for us a lot. She's a good photographer. And Jake, our bassist, is a graphic designer.
Oh, so he's the
like,
one that making the flyers,
all those
making
posters and
shit.
it's all Jake.
Yeah.
And a lot
Nice.
like the single covers and stuff, it's all Jake.
Yeah.
Nice.
So it's very
He does
just
great work, yeah.
self-sufficient.
Everyone does something. That
Everyone
helps contribute to that.
contributes. Everyone makes
Yeah.
the TikToks. And, yeah.
You think as you guys continue to grow in popularity, you'll need somebody to help you guys with that, or is that something you guys want to just try to maintain on your own?
I'd say if we can, definitely keep it us
Yeah.
because that's less expenses and we like know what we're working with.
Yeah.
Right.
I'd say when it gets to the scale of like touring, then we'd probably need like a touring manager.
Like beyond a drive's distance.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I think we're gonna hold off for as long as possible.
Yeah,
Right.
pretty much.
Because it's cheaper. I mean, obviously we're doing a good enough job.
Clearly, yeah.
But I mean, yeah, if it gets to that, then and we need help, then yeah, totally. I mean,
For sure, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, going back to the record labels thing, do you guys want to have a deal with a label, or do you guys want to try and stay independent?
It depends. I'd say, because like we've talked about it, the only valuable thing I think a record label could give us today, or maybe, in the future, would be funding for tours. That's the main thing. Labels are sketchy. Especially nowadays, you don't make money off of music anymore. Like, because, everything's on Spotify and Apple Music. You make a third of a cent maybe per stream.
Yeah.
And then now Spotify won't even pay artists who don't meet a
certain
threshold
amount.
of streams. So it's like if you get like, I don't know, 20,000 streams, you still not make money,
Right.
So what labels will do is how they used to make money was they would make a big chunk of music sales like CDs, vinyl, etc.
right.
And then the artist makes money off merch and ticket sales and all that. So when they sell out arenas, that's how they make their money. But nowadays, since most artists have their music on Spotify and stuff, they don't make money off music. So labels will have to take a chunk of merch, ticket sales, all that. It's called a 360 deal.
From whatever they're getting off merch and everything.
Yeah, so they
That's
take
supposed
like
then for them.
Yeah.
but because they owe shit to the label, they have to.
yeah.
Yeah.
So it's like
Yeah.
instead of them making money for us, we're kind of just making money for them.
yeah. And if we're doing our own marketing and stuff, it's like, well,
Don't really got to worry about that.
They would have to have something to offer us, like touring funding,
Yeah.
or
right.
like clearly like, okay, you guys are doing this, like
Something that
if
won't
they-
take like a chunk out.
Yeah, if
Yeah.
they could do what we're doing better, and like prove that to us, and we know that like there was some sort of even exchange going on, then sure.
yeah.
Yeah.
But I mean, it gets to a point where it would have to be like it'd have to be a good deal.
For sure.
Where it's like, what are we getting and what are you getting in return?
Right. It's all business.
The most
Yeah.
valuable thing I think they would give us, in my opinion, would be they'd book our tour
Yeah.
at like really, reasonable venues, not just some like hole in the wall.
Yeah. Not some dive.
Yeah, and fund us for the tour because
Expensive, man.
Yeah, no, it is.
It is expensive.
Yeah, that's the thing. That's the only valuable thing I would see from a label right now.
Right.
Is if we get funding for tour.
Right, because advertising, you guys are doing well. Marketing, you guys are doing great.
Thank you.
Everything's working, as it should be. The only thing you guys really need, like you guys have mentioned, touring and just like continuing to get that name out.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, any kinks we've had to work out have been pretty small.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like, I mean, they would have to offer us something that we couldn't do on our own.
Yeah,
Right.
exactly.
Going to marketing, do you guys think it's easier now to get your name out as an artist and as a band, or was it like different and like harder now than it was back then when people were like handing out CDs and stuff?
It's way easier to get your name out now, but it's a lot harder to make money.
It's
That's
also
a good take. I like that.
yeah, it's easier to get like more of a following, but it's also harder to stand out too.
That too.
Because it's like, back then it's like we could hand out CDs or whatever, and people could, oh, I really like this, and they tell their friend tells their friend, and so now it's easier because like social media. It's like we're just popping up places, and people will follow us and stuff,
Right.
send it to friends.
It's like more sporadic because you're getting
yeah,
fans
it
and like
spreads
Timbuktu,
faster.
Dude,
yeah.
I was
Exactly.
on my Explore page and I saw us. Not on
yeah,
Silver
no,
Bullet.
that happens to me all the time.
Yeah, it wasn't Silver Bullet's Instagram. It was one of like the film guys that went to our House of
Yeah.
Blues show. They were like, they made an edit of us. I was like,
Yeah.
oh, yo,
You guys are
us.
getting edits.
We'll pop up.
Yeah,
I mean, like, not like crazy or anything, but like
Yeah.
I'll pop up on my own For You page from just like,
Yeah.
but like, the thing is, like, we're not the only, rock band that's trying to blow up right now.
Right.
Yeah.
Like, you see a lot of other people trying to do the same thing we're doing. So it's like, yeah, it's easier to kind of get the word out, but it's harder to actually do something with
Right,
it.
for sure. So
Now, I will piggy off that. He's absolutely right. But the advantage we have is there's not a lot of rock and roll bands in this
Yeah.
particular area. Well, yeah, there's a lot of bands like there's like a band in Arizona, a lot in Nashville, LA obviously, but there's not a whole lot of bands of our genre here.
Insane.
right.
So it is easier for us to stand out here. But like in the grand scheme of things, yeah, it's a little hard. But I like the niche we're in because we're starting to make connections with some pretty big
Yeah.
up and coming rock and roll bands. It's a really cool niche.
Oh,
And it's
yeah.
kind of funny how rock and roll's a niche now. It's not. It
and it used to
be.
be the jam. Like, way
Yeah,
back.
but it's like
Used to be
it's like
insane.
really cool. Like I think within the next 4 or 5 years, I think it'll make a really big comeback.
Yeah, we actually did mention this on a different episode. I think it was, we didn't end up publishing it because it was just like a throwaway thing to get people comfortable. But it was about fashion. People are noticing that a lot of fashion trends are starting to circulate. And I told them the same thing. Like, yeah, you see in music now, there's a lot of genres, a lot of different sounds that they are different, yes, but they have different inspirations that date back to like the 80s, 70s when like groove, funk, rock and roll. Like,
Yeah.
everyone's just buying off the past.
Dude,
Like-
yeah,
like
my
it's already
mom,
happened.
I had family that came down for a House of Blues show.
Yeah.
She was like, dude, I was in that venue and like I felt like I was in the 70s. Like everyone was dressed in like bell bottoms and denim cutoffs and like leather jackets and stuff. And I was like, yeah, this is how it is down here.
Yeah, and it's sick.
Vintage
sick too.
fashion is like a big thing.
You're like
here.
an outlet for these people that have the same just like
Yeah,
niche for you guys.
that's another thing about us is like we really love like honing in on like the vintage style and all that stuff. And there's a lot
yeah.
of kids here who love that. Like
Oh,
I feel
yeah.
like thrifting and like vintage clothes are huge here. It
Yeah.
wasn't as big in the Bay where I was from. Like obviously, maybe more in San Francisco,
Mm-hmm.
but where I was from, it wasn't like a big thing. You
Yeah.
know, I was like dressing like a Americana type deal, like 70s, like Eagles, like it's kind of how I always dressed.
Yeah, I get what you mean though. Like you just
Yeah.
noticed the atmosphere is different here. Than
Yeah,
it was
I
in the
love it.
Bay.
I
Yeah,
love it
it's
down here.
it's really great.
Yeah.
And then going back to like location, like obviously you guys are blowing up here because people are finding you guys, and you guys have like you're finding people just like you, and you guys are able to build popularity and build an audience off that. We were talking the same thing, I think, either last episode or 2 episodes ago with the global marketing, where like people's marketing strategies change depending on their location.
Yeah,
So like you
definitely.
guys are able to find it here in San Diego. Like, is there an idea of trying to get get anywhere else, like perform in any other cities?
Yeah, it's actually we had like a whole meeting about that the other day. Like I mean, definitely we're going into summer here, but we kind of have like a plan we're rolling out of like kind of San Diego, Orange County, LA. I think we were kind of talking about like Riverside, San Bernardino too.
Yeah, i.e.
Just going up and then taking the trip back?
Yeah, I mean, just like, because in general, I'd say 90% of our shows have been in San Diego.
Yeah, we played 2 LA shows.
I mean, yeah, it's like pretty much 2 LA shows.
And the rest of San Diego. So we're trying to,
we want to, no, you're good. We're trying to like kind of even it out more.
Yeah.
Because we have our, like a pretty comfortable following in San Diego right now.
Yeah.
But we want to have that in Orange County and LA and maybe out east a little more also.
Yeah.
Because that's something we can easily manage on our own. Like, if it's a weekend, we can just drive up to LA instead of playing in San Diego. So yeah, I mean, in the future, like we're kind of trying to get it like a pretty even spread of shows like in all of those cities instead of kind of focusing on one. Because I think for one, that'll make it like people are going to want to come to see us in San Diego more.
It'll get them to want to make the trip.
It's a more exclusive, like, you know, if we're playing here once every month and a half instead of once every couple weeks, it's going to be like, oh, we got to get to that show.
Then, like, as you branch out too, you'll like, and your name continues to grow. People will find it. They'll be like, "Oh, Silver Bullet's in town," or like, basically just bring everybody with you.
Yeah, because I think like we had we've only played in LA twice, but we had like some success there with like getting a crowd there. People enjoyed our music, so we definitely want to get it out there more.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, that's super exciting for you guys, no doubt.
Thank you, man.
All right. Has there been any cons to your guys' like sudden rise to fame on the social media as part of things?
Yeah. So.
Thanks for asking.
He's been waiting on that one, dude.
So, one thing is, it's hard to like keep the ball rolling. So like, Baby's Truckin' did really good, right? Got like,
what is that like?
it's at almost 40K streams. I think it's at like 39,000. It's gonna hit 40K, which is sick.
Yes.
Joyride is like 5,000 streams, and then we just dropped a song Wildcard, and it's at almost 800. So like, it's doing good. But the thing is, Baby's Truckin', we got 1,000 streams in a night, just because of that momentum we had on social media. And then we tried to do the same thing with Joyride, but it was just harder. Like, I don't know what it was, but you just got to have a video blow up, and then you have all this momentum.
Yeah.
So it's harder. So like, once you get all these followers, it's like the interaction on social media isn't as strong as like you would think it'd be.
Yeah.
You know, like social media is so inconsistent, honestly. Like, especially TikTok.
Dude, I cannot want to bother with TikTok.
I cannot stand TikTok. I think gone are the days where bands will blow up from TikTok.
Yeah.
I think Reels is the way to go now.
Probably.
TikTok was 2020 to like 2022.
Because it's just saturated with just trash, dude.
There's so many like, and then
video ad.
It's gonna get it gets threatened of being banned every like year. It's like
it's just inconsistent.
Yeah, it's like Reels though, like much better because I think the way they're reason why it's better is because they'll actually reward people for consistently posting because they're trying to compete with TikTok.
Right.
Because TikTok's algorithm is genius, honestly. Like I'll say it. It is crack for your brain. Like you're literally just scrolling and scrolling. And then, that's Reels is a great way to, combat that. And they're much looser with what they allow on that app. I think we all can agree.
I love IG Reels.
I just want to throw that out.
The comments go crazy.
No, sometimes I'm like, oh no, what are the comments?
It's like the Wild West.
Yeah, it is like the Wild West of social media. For sure. So I guess the main con is like, it's hard to like keep that momentum going. And then since you have all these followers, I guess like people put like this like pressure on you, like, oh, like you're like this big like shot for having all these followers, and I'm just like, dude, I'm just a guy, bro. Like,
I really am just a guy.
I'm just a dude, man. Like,
and I love to play my guitar.
Yeah, like some people will get like jealous. I'm just like, dude, I'm just a guy. Like, this doesn't really mean much. Like, it's cool. Don't get me wrong. Like, it's cool to have, but at the end of the day, like, social media is kind of fake.
Yeah.
You know, like, we try to be really authentic with who we are on that app, you know? So that's, like, we make a lot of funny reels because, like, that's who we are. We're silly.
Yeah.
Like, you know,
That's
like...
the thing, too, yeah, because it's just, like, what do we post? Where it's, like, we do want to market, but we also want to be, like, honest. Like, we don't want to be like, hey, we know this video will blow up, but it's not real. Like, we're not going to make some BS video just
Yeah.
to get
You guys
clicks.
aren't like analyzing it down to like
Yeah.
what's gonna blow up.
No,
You
yeah.
guys
Like,
just
we're,
do you.
like, it works for us, but it's not like we're, like, really mathing it or anything.
No.
Like,
Yeah.
it's just, like, we're just posting what we feel like we should post, like... But yeah, there's definitely, I mean, like with Baby's Truckin', like we posted it like 12 hours later, had 1,000 streams. Now it's at like almost 40K. Where like with Joyride, like I don't even know if we had 100 streams within a couple days. Like it's just very inconsistent.
Yeah.
Definitely the first show was a little nerve wracking because it was like
Oh, gosh.
hadn't played in front of people before, and we have like 20,000 followers on.
Yeah, there was a lot of expectations on the line.
Like we knew what we had, we knew we were good, but it's like we don't know how people were gonna react. Especially like we're playing for this area, very niche kind of music.
Yeah.
So it's like even though we know we're good, we don't know if people are gonna like it, and they're gonna be like, "Why do they have 20,000 followers?"
Yeah,
So there's just
Yeah.
there was definitely pressure at first. I think we've sunk into it more now, and there's definitely some expectations have been like. Maybe like looked at differently, especially after like the success of that first single. But like you know, we're just still making music, playing music, and we're having fun. So that's kind of what matters.
Yeah, dude. I think as long as you guys are having fun, you guys have that same like positive energy.
Yeah.
You guys are gonna get some people on your back for sure.
Dude, thank you.
Yeah, because that's how it is. Just with like any sort of media, like even with this, like I don't. Like I have fun doing this, but I'm not advertising it all the time.
Yeah.
People will have their opinions on it, but like I still do it because I enjoy it.
No, exactly. Yeah.
But yeah, what's been the best part of it? Just like having your guys' overall success. Like you guys are growing in popularity. You guys have a great following on social media. You guys are doing everything you guys are doing yourselves, basically. Like what's been just the best part? You could pick anything.
Probably the shows.
Definitely the show.
I was gonna say, even though the quick blow up did cause like some problems, there was definitely way more rewards than issues. Like, there's places we've played that we wouldn't have played if it wasn't for that Instagram reel blowing up, which we've been very grateful for.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I doubt there would have been that many people at that first show if it wasn't for that. So like, the shows have been amazing. Like,
Yeah.
I don't think we played an empty room yet, to be honest. I think our least crowded show was our first LA show,
yeah.
but it was a tricky weekend. It was St. Patty's weekend, so everyone's doing 10 million different things and all that.
Yeah.
So it wasn't like the best time to play a show, but it was honestly such a fun show. Like we had so much
Dude,
fun.
it's St. Patty's Day. You guys performed at night, right?
Yeah, it was
Dude,
at
they've
a
been getting faded all day.
it was at a bar in LA. It was like
good.
this.
The people in the room were great.
Yes.
We got a lot of love after the show, which we weren't totally expecting.
Yeah.
We were pleasantly surprised by how nice people in LA were.
It was so much fun.
It was a good show, but like, yeah, we really haven't played a show yet where we were like, man, there wasn't that many people there.
Yeah, exactly. I remember there was one show, I think it was our overall show, where it was a slow start. Like, I was like, oh man, not as many people are coming. And then all of a sudden, people just flooded in at once. And I was like, all
Oh, yeah.
right.
Is that kind of happened at Holding Company and Viper Room.
Yeah.
10
Viper
minutes before we
Room,
went
oh
on stage at
gosh.
Viper Room, I was like, oh, God.
Yeah.
There was like 15 people, and it was just like, this is horrible.
Yeah.
This is like a dream venue to play at, and nobody came. And like, as we were getting called to stage, like, I mean,
You just heard
60,
it.
70 people must have come in. Like,
It
like
was-
the room
yeah.
felt filled by the time we were done with our first song.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
They had a, what's it called?
There was a curtain.
Yeah, a curtain.
Pretty much
Oh, there was
we
a
went,
curtain?
they came and got us when like time to get on stage and we are getting ready. When we went behind the curtain, there was probably 15, 20 people in the crowd.
Oh,
And we were just like,
yeah.
okay, like, let's just do it. Like, let's play. Sound guy came back, was like, 90 seconds or whatever. 90 seconds by curtain opened and the room was full. And we were like, oh,
Yeah.
thank
You're
God.
like, holy shit.
We're like,
Thank God.
yeah, no, it was great. I had a feeling that would happen, honestly. Like,
Yeah.
because it was a 2-story venue, so like there's a bar downstairs, everyone's down there, whatever. People were hanging out outside because it's kind of small. It's kind of uncomfortable if you're just sitting in there the whole time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, Vibe Room was cool. We definitely wouldn't have gotten that show if it wasn't for having the followers we have.
Yeah.
House of Blues, same thing. I have a buddy I went to high school with, Ethan Carlin. Shout out Ethan.
Shout out. Yes. You gotta
Yep.
show him this episode.
Ethan's a homie. He works at House of Blues, and I remember when I first moved here, I was asking him about, because I saw that they did like a college show at House of Blues right before the school year ended, previous one. So I was like, oh, dude, yeah, like, how do you like go about playing there? He was like, dude, get in a band. I'll make sure you play there. And I was like, say less. And then Christmas break, we started talking. He was like, how about April 17th? I'm like, sounds good. And then we made it like a SDSU thing, like got SDSU bands, and yeah, that was a fun night. Very successful night.
That's awesome, dude.
Yeah.
It's been great hearing your guys' success, and I really do hope you guys continue to blow up and everything, because it's just having this interaction is just like, it's bizarre. It's like beyond me.
Dude, thank you, man. We're stoked to be here.
Yeah,
No
we're
worries.
happy to be.
We have I think our biggest show to date is coming up September. We're still figuring out the exact date, but it's going to be either September 5th or September 6th at the Music Box.
But September next fall,
Yep.
gonna be the biggest show.
Yep.
Oh, yeah.
That's
We
what
got-
I was gonna lead up to. After topping off your guys' great success, guys, what is gonna be the next step? And I'm assuming it's gonna be the September show, right?
Yes. Yeah. We're recording right now.
Is this a single or is this a big project?
It's
an
a bigger
album?
project.
It's a bigger project.
Yep.
Okay. I won't pry too much, but that's pretty big. I'm hearing about it.
Hell yeah.
I think probably the first.
You
person
might
out of
be,
the
yeah.
band
This is it's very still in the works. But we
on.
plan on releasing it day of the Music Box show. Yeah, but yeah, Music Box is the next big show. We're playing our last show until that show is May 23rd at the Holding Company.
The holding company?
Yeah.
Shut up.
Yeah.
Is that you guys? How about Live Nation? Do you guys have anybody with that?
Not for that show.
I don't. They do work with Live Nation a lot, but I don't think we're working with Live Nation for
That
this
would be
show.
insane.
Yeah.
If you guys.
We worked with Live Nation for House of Blues though.
Oh yeah, for sure.
yeah.
Yeah, because they've worked there. It's House of Blues, and then the holding company, and then the Observatory. Those are like the three big ones.
Is Music Box also Live Nation, or I can't remember?
I don't know. I've actually. I know Holding Company. I see a lot of Live Nation stuff there, but I'm actually not sure with Music Box.
Right on.
But Music Box is a great venue. But yeah, we got something a little bigger in the works. Gonna kind of have a little downtime over the summer, and then come back. And Music Box will kind of be the start of us rolling out that, San Diego, OC, LA, kind of switching off.
Nice.
House shows are gonna be probably a little more few and far between.
Like a little less frequent.
Yeah, it's gonna be more like we'll probably play a Halloween house show.
Definitely Halloween.
That would be
we'll
sick.
definitely play.
I'm gonna go dressed as John.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's a good costume.
Wear some overalls.
But yeah, it'll be a little more of a
Yes.
special occasion thing. We're trying to branch out a little more.
That's sick, dude.
Yeah, because we got that social media following for sure, but we do want to get kind of solid fan bases around, not just in San Diego.
Right.
But yeah, no, we're super excited. So
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Well, I really appreciate your guys' time, and look out for those shows coming up next fall. Keep an eye out for that big project. I'll hear more about it later on. We'll all hear more about it. And if you enjoyed this, guys, please let us know in the comments. And until next time, this is the AMA Way. Thank you, John. Thank you, Ryan. We'll see you guys next time. Okay.
Thank you.
thank you. Yeah.